Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep into a really crucial framework called AI TRISM. It's all about making artificial intelligence safer and, frankly, more reliable for all of us. Okay, so to really get why AI TRISM is so important, we first have to look at the problem it's trying to solve. What actually happens when AI operates without any strong guardrails? I mean, just look at this. This was a real criterion used by an AI system in the Netherlands. It ended up incorrectly flagging thousands of families for welfare fraud, and it caused just immense financial hardship. It's a perfect and pretty devastating example of how fast algorithmic bias can have awful real-world consequences. And hey, it's not just about bias. This one highlights a huge security nightmare. We're talking about sensitive, proprietary company data, source code, getting accidentally exposed to the whole world, just through the everyday use of these powerful new tools. Okay, let's talk numbers. 65%. That's how many financial organizations got hit with ransomware attacks in 2024. Now here's the kicker. That number was only 55% just 2 years before. A lot of that jump is because criminals are now using AI to supercharge their attacks. So the point is pretty clear. AI is incredibly powerful, no doubt. But it also comes with these serious, multifaceted risks. We're talking bias, security breaches, and straight-up misuse. And that's the challenge we absolutely have to solve. And that brings us right to the solution, a framework called AI TRISM, which gives us a clear path forward. So what does TRISM even stand for? It's AI Trust, Risk, and Security Management. At its core, you can think of it as a holistic approach, basically a complete set of rules and best practices to make sure these AI systems are working for us, not against us. And this isn't just some nice idea on paper. According to Gartner, organizations that actually put this framework into practice can boost their AI model adoption by up to 50%. And why? Simply by making them more accurate and building that all-important user trust. Okay, so how does TRISM actually work? How does it do all this? Well, it's all built on 4 essential pillars that give a complete structure for managing AI. Here they are: explainability, model operations, AI security, and privacy. Let's quickly break down what each of these really covers. First up, explainability. This one is huge. It's all about cracking open that AI black box so that we can actually understand why it's making a certain prediction or decision. This is absolutely key to spotting and fixing the kind of bias we saw in that Dutch fraud case. But understanding a model is just the start. You also have to manage it, which brings us to model operations, or model ops for short. Just think of this as the quality control and the long-term maintenance plan that makes sure that AI runs perfectly over its entire lifespan, not just on day one. And of course, running reliably also means it has to run securely. So the third pillar is AI security. This is all about actively defending the AI models themselves, because just like any other software, they can be major targets for sophisticated attacks designed to steal data or even manipulate their decisions. And that brings us to the final pillar: privacy. This focuses on protecting all the sensitive information that fuels these models in the first place. This is especially critical in fields like, say, healthcare, where you're dealing with personal patient data. Okay, so that's the theory. Those are the 4 pillars. But how does a company actually do this? What does it look like on the ground? What's the game plan? This is where it all gets concrete. It really starts with creating a dedicated, cross-functional task force. And you've got to bring together lawyers, data scientists, and ethicists, because each one sees risk totally differently. A lawyer might spot a regulatory issue a data scientist would miss. From there, the key is to prioritize making these models explainable, getting them out of that black box so their logic can actually be checked and trusted. Then the team tailors data protection methods, like encryption, to keep information safe. The whole goal is to build these safety principles right into the design from the very beginning, instead of treating it like an afterthought. So what does all this look like when it's successful? Well, this framework is already delivering some really tangible results out in the real world. Let's just look at 2 quick examples. So on one hand, you have the Danish Business Authority. It's a government agency, and they're using TRISM to ensure fairness and accountability while they monitor billions of euros in financial transactions. Then on the other hand, you have Abzu, a startup that's using that pillar of explainability to build trust in life-saving medical research for breast cancer drugs. 2 totally different goals. one shared framework for building trust. Ultimately, frameworks like AI TRISM make one thing crystal clear. Trust isn't some optional add-on you can just tack on at the end. It is the absolute foundation of responsible innovation. And as AI gets more and more powerful and more integrated into our lives,